Hey guys, how's it going? I'm MegaGWolf and welcome back to the Sonic Hack Showcase. Oh, today we're talking about something we've spoken about before, but there have been some updates and a release! That's probably what most of you came here to find out, if it had been released, and it has. But for those of you who don't know what I am talking about today, I'll be presenting to you Sonic the Hedgehog.exe. Or it's called a ordinary Sonic ROM hack. Created by Sinisu, and I'm sure both him and me are glad this is finally out. And so, 'twas a lovely day in Green Hill Zone Act 1. Sonic doth run through the fields of green, wind in his spines and the rings he collects making a lovely jingling sound as the luxurious music plays in the background. When all of a sudden shit went down and everything became evil. An ordinary Sonic ROM hack is a gimmick hack which basically puts you on a very strict timer. As you're playing the game, it'll occasionally warp you into a very demonic version of the level you're currently playing, and you only have a very small amount of time to try and find a monitor to reverse the effect. Of course, the differences between this version to the version I showed off a few weeks ago, well, you might find the tweaks a little bit more difficult now. One of the major changes is the fact that now, when you enter the demonic realm, the monitors you've used to reverse actually stay broken. Unlike the original version I showed off where they respawned, now you really have to decide which monitor to break and when. The original time for the first transformation, let's say, was 10 seconds. It's now been modified, so it's somewhere between 12 and 15. I don't know if it's random every time, but it seems to go on for a little bit longer before the first transformation. The game is technically a score attack now, so the idea is to get as high a score as you can within the level, because you can actually go on the main menu and select the levels you want to play. The way the score is judged is normal methods of getting score will work, but when you're in the demonic realm, your score slowly ticks down, I think 10 points every second. So, the most efficient way to do this would be to find a route that allows you to get a lot of score, but hit the monitors to prevent you from losing it. Adds a very interesting score-based element to it, to be honest, and it gives it a little bit more to work with. Whereas before it was just, oh look, it's Sonic.exe in a hack. One of the other notable changes we haven't seen yet is the visual upgrade. Now we've seen the new title screen where it still fades to Sonic.exe during the menu. That kind of loses the original idea a lot of people had, was like, hey, I'm gonna totally prank my friends with this because it looked like normal Sonic to begin with. Now it has an intro. So that's a little bit of a bummer for those who wanted to trick their friends into thinking it was a legit version of Sonic, then all of a sudden. But the most noticeable effect is when Sonic.exe is chasing after you. It's an effect we've seen before, and it does add a nice little extra bit of tension and detail to when you're being chased by the man himself. So overall, not a huge amount of changes, except for the extra levels. You can play up to the Labyrinth Zone now. Sinisu stated he didn't plan on doing anything more to the hack apart from fixing bugs and making the other levels work. Then after that, he'll be done with Sonic.exe. Which makes sense, cause there is a lot of everything going around about that thing right now. It became very popular very fast, I don't really know why. And although I would like to say to post any video responses you have showing me your high scores, YouTube won't be doing that soon, I guess, so that won't be really something you can do. Well, not in the same fashion, there is a way to do it, which, yeah. Man, I'm doing very good today, am I? I'm just dying all over the place while in the dark realm. The nice thing is, although you might think, man, removing the monitor respawn is a little bit of a dick move, don't you think? Because what if you hit the last monitor that's placed within the level and can't make it to the end? Well, he has thought about that, and there are ways you can do it, so fear not for those who are worried about fairness. It really is all about your timing, and your patience, and how well you can run. How well you can run away from him. You need to run away. He could be behind you. He thinks it's a game. This is not a game. This is not a game. He will get you. He could be right behind you at all times. He knows where you are. He's after you. There's nothing you can do.
No matter how much you run, he'll catch you. And you'll die.
Well, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Sonic Hack Show. If that gotcha, then lol. But I haven't showed off the scoreboard yet, so I'm about to do that right now. So here's a scoreboard where basically all of your records are kept and where you can basically choose what level you want to go on next. And as you can see, I did really well on the first act of the Green Hill Zone. Obviously not done so well on the others, and I haven't really played too much into the other stages, so I don't know how difficult they can be. I know Labyrinth can be a pain in the butt for more reasons than one, let me tell ya. But no, this can be quite a tricky one, considering there's a lot of underwater things you have to think about, especially with your breath. It gets really confusing about which timer is going off. Like, am I being chased or am I running out of air? What is happening? And of course, the water is blood red. That makes sense, I guess. And it's generally a really hard thing to beat, so it's definitely a challenge if someone wants to put themselves up to a test, I suppose. And unfortunately, no matter how much you try and do the other stages, unfortunately they're just locked out, so, you know, can't...
I'll see you on the next Sonic Hack Showcase. Okay, thanks, bye.